Welcome back to the David Pakman Show.
If you have a Twitter or Facebook account, go to donateyouraccount.com/David Pakman Show. Donate either or both. Each will get you an entry into our iPad giveaway happening March 15th. You can find out more about that at davidpakman.com/March15. That's going to be big, Lewis.
Big.
Okay. Rush Limbaugh launched 46 personal attacks on Sandra Fluke. He apologized for 2 words. Let me play some of that for you in a second. Now remember, Rush Limbaugh has, quote, sincerely apologized for using the words slut and prostitute to describe Georgetown law student Sandra Fluke on 2 separate days. And he claimed he did not mean a personal attack when he said this. That the statements, the thing is that I'm having a problem with Lewis, is that his apology doesn't really account for the other 44 times that he personally insulted her, right? I mean, he said she wants to be paid to have sex. She's a slut. She's a prostitute. Can you imagine if you're her parents? She's having so much sex she can't afford birth control pills. She is round-heeled. I guess we know why Bill Clinton went to Georgetown. Sandra Fluke. I'll happily buy Fluke all the aspirin she wants. He's apologized for his use of his choice of words in saying slut and prostitute. To me, this is not a sincere apology. And this was confirmed even more when you actually heard part of his apology saying what he did wrong was act too much like the leftists when he said these things about Sandra Fluke, which is the biggest cop-out apology. It's worse than I'm sorry people were offended. It's way worse than that. When you say I'm sorry that I did what the people criticizing me actually do. Take a listen.
I acted too much like the leftists who despise me. I descended to their level, using names and exaggerations to describe Sandra Fluke. It's what we have come to know and expect of them, but it's way beneath me, and it's way beneath you. It was wrong, and that's why I've apologized, because I succumbed. I descended to their level. Don't be mad at them or mad at her. Everybody here was being true to their nature except me. I'm the one who had the falling on this. And for that, I genuinely apologize for using those words to describe Ms. Fluke. Now, I've got to take a break, but I'm not through. We'll be back here in just a second.
Right. So, but
He descended.
Yeah.
To what level? I mean, he does this on basically every show.
Yeah.
He has.
This is basically his...
directed at one person or another,
Exactly.
or a group of people, what have
What's
you.
funny is he also talks earlier in the apology about how he's huge on personal accountability and responsibility. Now, this is the guy who's been investigated and arrested for actions related to illegal prescription drug use and had illegally obtained Viagra confiscated from his luggage coming back from a trip he made, reportedly with several other men, Lewis, to the Dominican Republic, okay? Illegal Viagra on a trip with a bunch of dudes to the Dominican Republic. What does that sound like to you? That doesn't sound good to me.
Well, I've been to the Dominican. I can tell you that...
You didn't see Rush there.
I didn't see Rush there, but I can tell you that prostitution is rampant at many of those resorts.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Rampant. When I say rampant, I mean rampant.
Yeah.
David, it's everywhere.
Okay. So anyway, that's Rush Limbaugh there. Rush Limbaugh's advertisers, okay? At least 45 advertisers have reportedly dropped their ads from the Rush Limbaugh radio show. Now, Rush Limbaugh went on the air and said, we're fine. Financially, we're completely fine. If whatever number 20, 30, 40 advertisers dropped out of 18,000, that's not a big deal. Now, I don't know what he means by 18,000 advertisers. Maybe that includes every local advertiser individually sold by each of his affiliate stations. I don't know where he's getting the number 18,000 advertisers. I really don't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when listening to his show, you will not hear 18,000 separate advertisements at any point.
Certainly not. And I guess apparently so-called sluts and prostitutes vote with their dollars and emails and phone calls to these radio stations and advertisers, because that is a big deal. Whatever Rush Limbaugh says, and this is not necessarily going to kick him off the air, I'm not saying that, losing 45 significant advertisers is a big deal to this radio program. I know how much money he makes, but it is still a big deal.
Right. I mean, in theory, he could fund it himself, I'm sure.
At this point, he probably could.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, I think he's still going to be around for a long time, and in all likelihood, he'll probably pick up advertisers to replace the ones that have dropped out.
It's possible. It's possible.